This is your reminder that One Piece is funded directly by patrons. They voted in this movie and the next over on my Patreon, where lots of votes happen and tons of other stuff. Check it out, link below.
Omatsuri.
Right away, it's pretty notable that some effort went into making this place look legit, like a nicely detailed map and log pose and whatnot.
罠だな、間違いなく。なんだお祭り島って、お祭りでもやってんのか?
Two wins here. Firstly, let's get this out of the way. The art style is massively different to normal, and I personally am one who doesn't mind some change here and there. It's unique, let's go. Secondly, it's good, as always, to see the crew doing their thing. Just now, Luffy was chilling at the head like normal, and Zoro was lifting weights and so on and so forth. It's weird, the only thing I can liken this to that I've personally seen is Fooly Cooly. Wouldn't be surprised if someone who worked on that worked on this. Half the win is for the win just casually doing its thing, the other is the reason for Luffy's decision to go, because it boils down to, come if you're the 1% of pirates. Easy and quick win here for an utterly gorgeous looking quick OP, with a truly stunning sounding but different to normal kind of song. Very calming, I liked it a lot. Nami looking real good in her change of clothing is one win, but also one for Usopp, who rarely ever changes his clothes compared to the ladies. Actually, go ahead and take max wins here for everyone, bar Luffy of course, wearing different clothing. Even Chopper, he's as rare as Usopp normally, and Zoro to a degree. They don't half make the island and its forests look super colourful and vibrant in these couple shots. Actually, I said Fooly Cooly before, but this reminds me a lot of the style of Satoshi Kon, who made Paprika in 2006. Quite the shock, naturally, for both Sanji and me. One of my favourite voice actors in the game. He currently voices Blackbeard in the main anime, but yeah, he's all for one in My Hero Academia, and Thor's in Vinland, and so much more. I love this so much, it goes on about 5 times back and forth. Robin and her dress can totally have another for the up-close shot. Well, that was unexpected. I would assume it's not going to be as nice and relaxing as when they do it in typical Japanese festivals though. I stand corrected, but getting his name wrong like 7 times is the bulk of this win anyway. Usopp and his lies working on someone other than Chopper for a change. Ah, I knew there had to be a twist. Plot twist! Not only did the animation look good there, but it was a real nice mixture of CGI and animation too. Somehow Zoro ends up being even more cool in the movies than the main show. Same as in the main show, I'll never get bored of seeing people's reactions to this stuff. Luffy from the whole of the Arabasta saga. Just like Zoro, Robin is somehow, so far anyway, able to shine even brighter in the movies. I remember in the, I think it was the 4th movie, where she created a giant hand. It was sick! Gotta admit, this is hands down one of the best uses of his own ability I've seen from Chopper too. Really awesome way for him to win the day. Obviously take a win for Sanji rescuing Chopper after he fell in after being all confused since he bounced the massive fish, but also praise to a rather silly but still lovely Luffy for trying to get to him. Also, now I see why it was done in the first place, since it allowed for us to get a natural look at all of the many pirate ships down there who obviously tried to take their tests. Totally taking lessons learned from the fourth movie again and using it here, and in the fifth to a degree with these CGI sights.
こっちじゃねえの？いや、あっちだろ。
Going first person like it's no big deal whatsoever.
マイキね、ちょっと年下だからって。ちょっとじゃない！
Nami has one of the greatest voice actresses in the game right now as far as I'm concerned. To me, she is utterly brilliant. Too long to risk showing, especially with how they protect these movies so over the top, but seeing these two like this never fails to get a giggle out of me. Cinematically speaking, that was amazing looking as they come out of the tunnel there. Also though, Usopp and Nami have changed their clothes again. Just look at how damn good this looks! Zoro looking like a total badass out there! This right here can only really be described as a fantastic mixture of CGI and hand-done animation. You gotta hand it to them, that's nothing if it's not a seriously unique attack. Robin looking so good! Take one more.
俺たちの他に誰もいないんだよな。
Chopper looking so cute wandering around the place munching on some fruit, but the main win is for Robin being a darling and calling after him, like she's keeping an eye on him. One of the longest not running on the spots in human history. I love animation like this, it's so rarely done nowadays. The last one I recall is Ping Pong the Animation.
Omatsuri男爵に気をつけろ。仲間をバラバラにする。
The plot's suddenly taking an interesting turn here where it's not all about the games and having a nice time there, but there's something else going on, built upon since we saw the old ships. As usual, they really must be praised for the super unique looking buildings around here. Totally looks like a modern city.
すいません、申しません、許してください。お茶の間海賊団っていう家族系のかなりしがない海賊なんだけどね。
Take a win here for a very unusual setup for pirates. Family run. That's definitely new. So many awesome looking shots in this that I just have to include. I gotta say, I'm always really pleased when our heroes use their actual abilities rather than losing here for the sake of the story, you know? They never seem to do that, thankfully. How could I give the last win and then ignore this action right afterwards? Now me dealing with Usopp being useless is rarely this funny. I can see why a lot of people enjoyed this movie. One Piece is already a very different kind of anime, and this movie dials that aspect up to 11 for sure. What an amazing sight that makes for! For context, he drank too much as she's squeezing him for the island's secrets, but the win is her continued, seemingly no limits use of her ability. Trust Zoro to get annoyed at these guys when all he wants to do is fight Sanji as always. And the same for Sanji! How they managed to keep building the ship back bigger each time. It's only very brief, but there's so many frames in that, it just has to get a win. Amazing timing by Usopp and the grand return of the Usopp Hammer! Right before Zoro got knocked out of the game too. I can see now where the whole "you will betray your fellow crew members" warning from earlier comes into play. My baby Chop Chop getting hurt out of nowhere. Great plot twist though.
なんとかして船長さん。さっきからずっとこの調子。
Nami and Robin changed clothing. Damn, I love this anime. Ah, bless him, he's really trying his best to make up with her and she's not having any of it. Call me strange, but I do like when Sanji does some huge cooking moments in this anime. Showing that quickly because it also makes me think that the art style is a lot like Devilman Crybaby 2 actually. It's so damn unique, I love it.
だってほらこないだゴールドロジャーに会ったぞ
That's a very weird but equally interesting plot twist all of a sudden. This movie has done an excellent job of revealing its mystery piece by piece rather than all at once.
死と再生の花
これが花
Okay, they decided to reveal it now after passing nicely over the halfway point. That is excellent. Seems it's the little flower on his shoulder causing this stuff. That's genuinely creepy.
拉致が開かねえ俺は一人でも探しに行くぜ
サンジ君ちょっと待って
For clarity, he was going back and forth with the Baron. Trial first, he would say. Sanji says my friends first. But the win is for Sanji not messing around and heading off to find them anyway. I do like how in the last filler arc I just covered, Ocean's Dream, I mentioned Luffy was getting better at reading attacks, and he does it here as well. I, for one, absolutely freaking loved Zoro's angry approach to combat there. He got super annoyed and just did his big move within like half a second.
なんだこれ
Even someone as strong as Zoro can't do anything if they cannot be harmed, and then the whole magic arrow too!
ちょっとめまいがでもいつものことだ
I'm guessing these people are clinging to life whilst in reality have been gone a long time in essence. Always looks really creepy too. This guy was serious about avoiding the dangers from above for so long, plus his home looks insanely unique, even for One Piece. You can't tell me, artistically speaking, that was easy to do. Never really seen anything like that before. Thank goodness Chopper was down there too and could save the girl. I felt terrible there for a moment. In some very real and sweet way, she's likely trying to emulate the bravery that she believes her father has inside him, even if he has been faking it for a while now for their benefit.
あれ
わしはお前らがいつも変わらず元気ならそれで良いのじゃ
So I'm guessing the life they take from new pirates who arrive are given to those on the island who are slowly giving way to the sands of time, as it were.
仲間には絶対に手を出させね
手を出させないだと
The movie is real unique in how it approaches the normal happy-go-lucky tone, up to this point anyway, of the main show and the other movies. It's much darker by nature.
やめろーロビー
Such great voice acting there, I must say. Plus, it brings me back to a prior thought in another of the movies where I think it's amazing how they did the main anime and the movies. It's legit painful to watch as he tries time and again to launch an attack only for him to be hit by another arrow, and meanwhile more of his friends are being eaten? Brilliant! An attack even he didn't see coming! Ha! He thought he got a headshot, but nope! That was so well done by making it look like he was going to reach him. Instead, we see the slow pullback as he's reached his limit and Zoro was absorbed. My theory was confirmed. It's 100% feeding on all of them via the pirates that come to the island seeking riches and instead met their fate at the flower. For the most part, anyway. Very awesomely ironic that a prior captain or at least crew member has rescued him here, which lines up with his whole "you can't do it alone" line from earlier. Nicely done animating him through the scene, but also I love how they did his tunnels so full of life since he's been down there so long plotting against the Baron.
トナカイさんがあなたのことを呼んでる。
Obviously we knew that'd be the case, but it still doesn't stop it from getting a win.
聞こえねえよ。聞こえる。
Luffy thinks this is just something he should be able to pick up on by stretching his ears slightly.
忘れ物だ。男爵の口車に乗せられるな。
The guy is actually a legend. Even though Luffy didn't want to join his crew and they got off to a terrible start, it's awesome to see him helping out like this now.
それに俺もついてるしな。
What a friggin' legend! Utterly badass looking that walk is. That epic dodge though! These two are actually working together remarkably well!
俺は今そいつの仲間だ。
I tell you, for a movie and for the fact that this guy has barely been in it, he makes such a powerful statement at the end of the movie that really hits you. That is exactly the kind of man Luffy is. Even though he was so close to helping his friends, he was never going to abandon this man to his fate. Easily one of the most well-voiced and powerful-looking attacks Luffy has ever done. He finally landed a big hit!
飛びひげ。
Such a wholesome and lovely moment. I was really hoping Luffy would do that before the movie's end. Luffy now starting to land some massive hits on the giant worm thing as well. They did well making that sound creepy. The entire thing made up of those arrows. Not only was that great animation, but again, creepy bruh! This goes nicely back to what I was saying about the movie in general having such a different tone to the others in the main show. Long story short, he spent many thousands of days alone on that island. Loved the transition there between the arrows falling and then the rain that night.
トナカイさんたちがあなたを呼んでる。
Again, I feel props should be given. It's like the girl wants to emulate what she thinks is her father by stepping up and being brave all the time, giving hope.
仲間を返せ。
For me, up to this point, even though it's not canon, it shows the absolute length Luffy is willing to go to save his friends.
いつも私たちを喜ばせようと一生懸命なんだもの。
パパは強い。
Oh, I was wrong, but I like how I was wrong. She knew he was pretending to be brave for them, and she pretended not to know that fact. Bless her heart! But she also knows he is strong. Massive direct hit, but I won't show too much as it was quite nasty looking, and you never know with YouTube. Seeing everything of its influence disappearing, and again, it shows Luffy couldn't do it alone. He had to have friends here, and that's exactly what happened. It's only fitting, really, that Luffy gets this final huge hit, and I loved the art style change on it too.
僕たちのことをいつまでも思ってくれていてありがとうっぷ。
Nice that he gets some closure at the end as well, in spite of being a villain. All he really wanted was to keep on being a pirate among his friends. This zoom-in shot! So glad he gave them their props before the end of the movie. Happy now!
見ろよ、朝日だ。
あれルフィ？
おお、そうだ。
Seeing all of them back again. Quite a poignant end as Robin spots this. One more as Luffy smiles surrounded by his friends, and then also for a not half bad song for the outro either. A very good movie in my personal opinion, as I'm sure you've gathered. See you in the next one. Darth Weirdo, Fidji, Mal Yao, Mushwin, Nick Wyndham, The Elementator Wars, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Fancy Turtle, Kepan, Minimasher, Marquez, Nozomi, Allkeeper, Otopodenisi, Steelers, The Epic Commander, Bird Without a Word, Brandon Crea, Brian Bayot, Cameron, Commander Cyrus, David Meyer Olmos, Devico, Doggos for Life, Dragonstorm 35, Guru Guru, James Tafoya, Yor Edvinson, Kevin Alston, Cumfroy, Nightly Winter, Peter Milligan, Robin Jackson, Ruby Rose, Setoki Ari, Zion 44, Sean, Starkip, Tiger Lily Warrior, Ajoka, Alexander Schwartz, Ali 50, Amadillo, Anador, Brain the Spen, Cecilia, Cedric, Cloud Garden, Dante Soul, Dante's Face, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Donald Newburn, Dragon Defender, Drake's Daughter, Iso, Francie, Sanji, Furious Mo, Garrett Vermeesh, Hoth Ritter, Isel Caldera, Joker Imps, Jason Davies, John, Juffer6263, Kai Wolfspring, Kellock, Kevin Nelter, Kevin 102, Knuckle Duster, Tony Niemeyer, Kai 158, Carl Jones, Laxor, Laxus, Liam Gagati, Lifty, Lionel Schultz, Luis Minito, Marvin, Mason Stelfer, Michael Lewis, Niran Adjan, Modaviram, Mr. Firecool, Natsu Dragneel, Nick Monaco, Nick Pell, Nuvagown, 9028, Oberon Quartz, Ollie the Mighty, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Onks Khalif, Oscar I. Lopez, Owen Haloran, Q Flash, Chris Harris, Rimuru, Rodiz, Ryan DeVeries, Sadaholic, Sakomi Arum, Sarcastic Truth, Shadow Clinter, Snowy, Stan, Storm 970, TRS, The Danish Muggle, Thrasher 340, Vernon Hogan, Wacky Normal, Will Sass, Willy Man,